times for tan lines from here on out. And as things are heating up, everyone's headed to the coast. Our advice is, avoid the crowds, remember your sunscreen, and of course, keep it locked right here for your soundtrack to the summer.
All right. Good to be back again. Uh, well, it's been quite a challenging week, so to say. But I'm so thankful that I'm finally able to do something. So, yes, thank you so much, Chris. Though everything seems to be working. All right, so we're gonna continue from the last time I stream, of course. It's the realization of my drawing. Well, as you guys can see, like, probably if you miss the last stream, it should be still available somewhere in the YouTube. Because, well, YouTube is always there. And it's still available, also limited, so you can just go and check that one out. It's a really, really rough drawing of like some quick assets, right? It's supposed to be is the key there, like supposed to be sci-fi themed ammo box. Well, so it was so crazy, it was so simple, but the goal is to be able to create something simple and then, yeah, create the blockouts out of it, you know? So, and my man Chris over there is like the one that's actually doing all the things, so it's good. And if you happen not to be able to watch this one live, hopefully you might be able to catch up on the recordings later. But it was great. It was great, basically. So yeah, I mean, without further ado, okay, let's continue from what I had. All right, all right, all right. So this is the one that we have. If you remember everything, everything should be the same as last couple of weeks. I didn't touch anything, so all the rough ideas are there. And I'm really, really sorry if you hear something on the background because my kids are like screaming. So hopefully, yeah. There we go. Yep, precisely. So I have to tell them like, okay, switch. So because this is like some like free time like in Sweden, right? So the kids have like extra time staying at home. So I ended up letting them like watch some TV and everything. So yeah, they need to switch channels apparently. All right, now let's do this. Okay, so from the last one, I'm just going to open like a quick layer there so I can basically draw on top of it. So we already have like this overall shape, right? Oh, this is like the overall shape that we have. Well, the concept is just a concept, Chris. So that's why, you are like you are the one that actually making your proportion later. Well, I tried my best to include the sizing and everything, but in the end, it's up to you as like the executor to actually grab things right. So we have this panel here, right? So the panels are here. Let's do like just a quick checklist. We got the handles, and then we have this plates like paneling with ventilation, couple of buttons down here. like, you know, maybe some of these grooves, right? And the most, I think I love this idea of like those cables here. It's just like specifically showing to like the executor like how the handle's supposed to look like. I mean, more or less, right? So this one is that, and this is like how we store the ammos. Maybe the ammo can be stored like this, or they can be stored like this one. You know, just like files and everything, so people can just like boop, like drag it up. And this one here is just like a detail from like each panel. This one, and we got like a little bit of fence in here. Sorry about that. So we got this buttons, you know, knobs or whatnot, thingamajig. It can be everything, but at least for now we need like a shape blockouts in this one. We'll see. This is like a special shape right here. I don't know if like Chris helped that. Like we're gonna see the blockouts later, and this is the entire thingy. You know, we got this canister of like with plasma fluids inside of it. But yeah, so that's what we have, right? And then as Chris said, like maybe the proportion is wrong and everything, but we will take a look into that. So, and that is what we're going to have fun with, basically. All right, let's switch. So if I can do this right now, Saba. Okay, you guys should be able to see me now. All right, cool. Yeah, because this just contains like this whole stream is about like the reaction also, because like, yeah, Chris sent this one to me like a couple times ago, like, well, okay, send it. And then I literally don't pay any attention to that. I just saw the shapes are good, you know, everything is like supposed to be there, but I didn't pay any crazy attention to that. This is the time where I supposed to be like paying attention to things, yeah? So, let's go. Remember this one, right? Ugly drawings and everything should be like as simple as possible. Like all the boxes are there. Now we'll see. All right, I'm gonna remove this one. Just like that. I'm going to delete this layer so I can draw again on top of it and put this layer on top of everything. Then now I will show you the thing. Ba-ba! Look at that. Okay, so this is what Chris actually able to come in with, right? To make it more interesting, right? I will have this drawing ready, so I'm just going to duplicate this thing. Control J, make a duplicate, and then I will resize this thing so we can see it on the back right here. So now we're gonna compare stuff carefully. All right. Shape, right? This thing look like a boom box right now, but this is just like a double prom on top of my head, so I kind of love it. Like, he literally got this one, you know, he nailed it shape wise. You know, I won't complain, shape's good. But man, I mean, if you remember, right, the drawing, like here, the cables, like I kind of have expectation. Well, but again, that's my expectation. Without Chris having been able to see what's back there, no information, mind you, it's going to be really hard for him to translate what's supposed to do. But should he go crazy and wild with his like his own interpretation of things or what? But he's taking the safe path here, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is what he's actually doing. Safe. So it's just like right now, let me zoom this, right? So he just like do with this two cable and just like kind of hide shit behind, you know, like, because like right now, if I'm thinking like maybe this cable can be like really wild also. I don't know, maybe he will come up, because we already have our overall, what you call it, shapes, yeah? We already have like our overall shape. Maybe he can like artistically add some things into it, and it's fine if you want to translate something like that, and I think it's doable, and it's not wrong per se if you as like a 3D artist want to do that. So you just do that. I'm not saying that this is wrong, but playing it safe, sometimes playing it safe is also a good way to do it. But yeah, this is just like my 2 cents on this one. Because of this, yeah. So I'm making it too tidy also in here, and that's the problem. Maybe let's just go with the tidy route. Maybe this thing, like, yeah, keep it clean, you know, like, yeah, just go into there. Something, you know, maybe like something. Just, I don't know. Now this is how you should like put things. You just go crazy. If you want to go wild, go on, but keep one for like some original play it safe models. Always like that. So if you model, and then you will have something to get back to in case like there is any changes. Yeah, but always have like at least 2 of it. Yeah, of course. But yeah, this is what I expected actually. But again, now I need to mention about like me deliberately not giving Chris the view of the back side of that box. Because if it's me, this is what I'm gonna do. Because here, like Chris already like playing like really good. See? Because he did this. It's symmetrical on what we have on the front. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's good. So your brain already think like that. So you create some countermeasure for when things are happening. And that's good because that kind of thing is what's needed from like every modeler. You know, you need to be able to rationalize what you're making. Because hey, in the end, this is something that you actually created when the information is not enough from the concept artist or like from the original artist. Sometimes you have a reference that you can only have like one view. I mean, you need to make your own interpretation because you're working in 3-dimensional objects. It's unlike me. Or me, I'm just like working like from this and I can call it finish. Right? But again, if I'm not that lazy, I can actually draw like everything. But now, what we're trying right now is actually how to work with something and make it fast. So fast translation of 2D. And that is literally what Chris been doing. All right, so this is good. And let's go to the handles, right? The handles looks really what I want. And this is good. Maybe details can always go later, right? Details can always go later. And I think my Photoshop just crashed. So I don't know. You know, Photoshop just being Photoshop right now. Kinda hate it. See, right now. Thank you, Alex. And let me just turn this thing off for now, all right? Let's just go reopen it again because Photoshop. Now, how's now? Okay, shit's working. Good to have you here, Alex. Appreciate it. All right. And then we have like this paneling. This paneling right here. Okay, we'll see. My drawing. I already gave like the information here, so he made an adjustment. So I can see like the bevels are in here, you know. The bevels are just bam, bam. God damn it, that's what I want, you know. Like, so translation is like real rough. And then he just put this here. And then my drawing, if you see here, like my drawing is actually some line here. So if you look from the top, it's just like that. Right? And then the bottom should be flat like that. But Chris make like an adjustment here, so his bottom is actually rising up a little bit. So all of these panels are actually outside the real box, and that's awesome, Chris. You make like a deliberate, I don't know if it's an accident or whatnot, but this is looking good. And for example, if I'm the one that's drawing this and I saw this from my modeler, and then some changes like that can actually make the original makers like happy, because like, oh, that's not an like that's not expected, like I didn't even expect that should be there. And then the modeler make like a subtle changes, and it's actually making the model into something else. Well, that's a plus, you know. So again, like tips, you know, don't be scared of like actually adding things, you know, when it comes to that, when it comes to like projecting your models. Okay, you are your own artist, so it is within your rights to actually do something. Unlike me, like right now, I really it's going to be really hard for me to like make changes and everything to the drawing. Yeah, but for modelers, 3D modelers in this case, you guys can just like, if I happen to be like not liking it, you can always adjust things around just like that. Open the file, boop, click, adjust, easy. Yeah, so you have that, okay? You're free, so do it. Like visual representation have to come first, so people will know who you are as a modeler, you know, as a 3D artist, because that's what they want, you know, when people looking at you, like someone that's actually creative enough to actually adjust things to their liking, right? You're not just a modeler, so to say, when people told you, okay, make box, and then you gotta, okay, boss, his box. Well, in some cases, you're that, yeah, but in most cases, also your artistic flexibility are there for you to use. So don't be afraid to do that. Interpret along, you know, when you're modeling things. All right, the pose. The pose is good because this can be adjusted later. If you see my box here, maybe like the example, right? It's slanted like downward. But again, this is a 3D model. You can always change that later, and this is good. Make that's why like people be like doing all the T posing and stuff, because well, arms can be adjusted later. It's 3D, you know, magic, boom, boom, boom. That's what you're gonna have. For $300 a day, I'll be like, yes, boss, I get. Well, there is that also, you know, that kind of artist. Apparently, Chris is one of them. Yes, man. But yeah, hey, you know, negotiate. You're the artist. You know what you were doing. You know your limitation, right? You can always be like crazy on top, but you can also be like play it safe kind of guy, or maybe just you know, like, please remember this, like, you're good enough to do things, you know. Don't ever consider yourself to be bad, because if you start thinking that you're bad enough, then you're actually going to be bad, right? And don't compare yourself with other artists. Do your best to your liking, but of course close to the request, because that's what people want, like in this world, you know. If you're a 3D artist, you need to be able to cater to those requests. Like, oh, can you create something? Like, I want this tables or whatever look like this. This is the drawings. And then you do it. I'm like, oh, this is look just like the drawing. I like. We need to cater to that. Just like a restaurant, you know, people coming into a burger restaurant to expect to eat some burgers. You know, so just be rational when it comes to that, all right? You're an artist, so you need to think better. Cool. All right, let's get into it. And then, as you notice here, like 3 buttons or whatever, and then Chris exactly had like 3 buttons. Like, again, playing it safe. You can play something else right there, and instead of like making it to a button, he make it looks like a goddamn screw. But well, that's like his artistic interpretations, and that's okay, because again, it's fixable, but it's there. That's what make it like a solid 3D models, you know, made out from a concept art, because the initial components that's in the concept art is actually projected there, and that's what you want if you're modeling. You know, you just don't want to look like, because like, oh, I'm so creative, I'm gonna fuck this, I'm gonna do something else, and then like create a button outside, maybe like, ah, poop poop. Yeah, maybe it's good, but is it like really necessary? All right, again, so now that's the second tips right there. If you need to be like making changes, make sure that those changes are at least related. related or at least close enough to being functional to the real design. Okay, I mean, like if the design told you to create like a pot like this, right? Don't go like and make pot like that, so that's just like already another different images out there. So just be good, okay? And there is also like when it comes to functionality, even though it looks good, functionality needs to be king on things. If you like basically modeling something functional, especially because let's say this cup is okay, you can drink from that, you can use that cup, but this cup is unusable. So think of that. Make changes still related enough to the actual designs. Okay, so that's what you want over there. Not a pro tip. It's just like, become like a considerable artist. Considerate artist when it comes to things. All right. So yeah. And then what else? Let's see. Now, sadly, we don't have the cover like opened up, right? But it's okay because right now I really want to see like the shape of the box, and this is a strong signal there that Chris is actually reading, because instead of like making this thing open, he can like actually focus on what's outside that makes the box, and that's what he's been doing, and that's really good. All right, things here. All right, the paneling inside here. Well, this is easily can be reproduced using UV map, for example, but no, he's translating the overall shape, so the whole silhouettes are there without even we need to touch on a normal map or something like that. Is it expensive? Is it cheap? I mean, like nowadays, what is expensive, right? But still, when it comes to when it comes to like polygon count, I think this is still within limitations, because I don't have to even see the wireframe right now, and I think this model is good enough. Yeah. Now, Chris, I'm gonna be showing this one first, so people will see from this angle, this exact angle. Okay, so the back, the only thing is that is like lacking. Well, not lacking per se. I mean, like a little bit of like, not lots of things happening. It's the back, and that's about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And maybe if this box is openable, maybe if I'm Chris, I'll be like making some hinges over here, right? Yeah, and then later I can like maybe play around with that. That's like a hint, right? So function wise, what would be useful if you want to add things? And right now, what I'm seeing, because if this thing can be open later, well, it needs something, right? So you need some kind of a hinges. It just like makes sense. So try to put things there. Now, I don't know, the cable management here, make things a little bit great. And then here, to break out the symmetry, because you already have like the symmetry, that's why I direct this thing over there. And then, well, that's what we have. And now all the button here, maybe one, press 4. This is about the texturing beast later, but that's good. But all the button, I don't know if it's going to be useful or not, but those buttons definitely going to be useful. I mean, in a real life thing. Maybe it's to open. And the other button is to, I don't know, unfreeze thing. Buttons, man. Like, there's always some things for buttons. Okay, display also. Display can be everything. Well, the initial idea is to have, what you call it, the level of the ammos inside that contain in there. Okay, so this one have like a half of like clips inside something. And that's good. And also this one, maybe to make it like, I don't know, to release some pressure or whatnot. Okay, click here to make it unfrozen, and then like smoke will come up from this thing. So a lot of like things that can be done. So just by this rough shape and information, you can already have a lot of like interaction going on here This one here, the handles, of course, this is for lifting, moving things. And then we have this ventilation that I don't know for what, but it's definitely going to be usable. All right. So now for the overall, what you call it? For the overall shape of things, right? Silhouette wise, this is perfect, you know, because this is exactly the silhouettes that I'm giving. Functionality, a lot of these functionality are there, right? We don't even touch the thing here, but this thing here, fucking different with this one, because I have like this one up here and I know some nipples down there. Well, it can be like that, and then like it can be like that, but it's not there yet. But it doesn't make that this thing is wrong. Maybe it will be something that can be reconsidered or removed, just like what the modeler is suggesting. Maybe he got like some reasons to remove that. Maybe in his like mechanical thinking, it's like, oh, I don't think that shit's necessary. So that's why. That's good. Okay, like I said, it's a 3D model, guys, and you should be able to add more, you know, when it comes to things. So that should be good enough. All right. Overall shape. I don't think that there is things that can be added on this one because this is already like a solid prop. So blockouts passed. Now we need to refine the blockout, right? So right now, all we see here like sharp shits, right? Well, these edges, Chris, I mean, later if you can just bevel it, everything I think will be good, right? Just play with some bevels and make it not too sharp, because like in real life, they won't be like sharp. It needs to be like, you know, a little bit smooth on the edges and stuff, right? But that's the only thing that at my not everything, of course. Be mindful also. I don't want no crazy bevel just like making no. The overall sharpness still needs to be there. I'm thinking about like, you know, just small regulations and stuff so you don't cut your hands and everything. Again, things needs to be functional. Needs to be realistic-ish when it comes to that. So do that, you know, smoothen out things. Yeah, I know you get what I mean. So that's why. That's what you need to do to finalize this one. And then later maybe just open the box. You not necessarily have to like put the cartridge inside, man. Probably just create like something, just a blank space in there. So we can like put things later. And I won't be changing this because this is good enough. But if this thing is metal, right? This is metal and this is rings or brass. Can you imagine that? Metal, brass, plasma. Enough said. Smooth looking hard surface. Exactly. But not too crazy. I mean, like, think Grimdark, man. Think Dark Tide. Think that. Because this needs to be like a little. I really want to see later this one is actually painted. You know, put a battle damage to it. I really want to see if it's going to be like working. So yeah, you always think Dark Tide. So yeah, it's a good way of thinking because, well, that's what make the model this kind of model, I'm saying, pop a little bit. Maybe if this box is like to be made clean, let's say Overwatch style, right? Like something like that, or something 2001 Space Odyssey, you know, clean. Let's make variation. There we go. See, we got something. So later we will after the the polish stage on this one, we're gonna see if there's like maybe I can play like a color over, like a paint over, but just like try to put color and things, like mess with whatever texture that there is outside, right? So we have two goals right now, Grimdark, and the other one like super clean 2001 Space Odyssey, Overwatch kind of thing, you know, those clean stuff, Wall-E type, you know. So This will be interesting. All right. Cool. So there we go. You know, this is what expected from you when you comes like to block out things and then come up with something after you got like your instruction to like, okay, this is your the item, the asset that you need to be to work. Go ahead and do it. I mean, like Chris literally done this just only like a couple after my stream is finished. So it's just I happen to like showcase this on stream longer, but he's fast. Well, like in the normal standard it's fast, but again, it's a box, right? We're not talking about like crazy and heavily stuff yet. Okay. And thank you so much, Chris, for like sharing this with us, like your work and everything, and your willingness, especially for me to be able to like not bash this, but you know, give you like a little bit of more like inputs when it comes to stuff. And I just want to let you guys know that this opportunity is like open to everyone. So if you have like something, if you've been working on something and you need like some kind of like, well, kind of honest feedback, you know, you can send it in. You know, feel free to send me a message on Twitch, send me a message on YouTube, on LinkedIn also. Send me something, you know, and hopefully this simple session can help you out a little bit, you know, because like this is what I'm trying to do. So this channel is not about like, you know, tutorial or whatnot, but I'm an educator in a game artist school. So a game artist education. So I kinda a little bit know what I'm talking about, hopefully. Well, not that crazy. I'm not that guru or whatnot, but still, you know, I kind of know what I'm talking about. So hopefully, things that I sometimes wrongly say happens to be right. And that's the expectation of this channel. And that's why I also opened this channel for you guys to actually interact among each other. I'm kind of really hoping that we will have like enough people hanging around with us, you know, and then just punch feedbacks. And then like in the end, maybe I'm just like sitting here and moderate things. That's what I'm gonna do. Because art is always good at the eye of the beholder, you know, like it's relative. Don't be discouraged of what maybe people think that your art is like crappy or something like that. Don't get discouraged by that. You know, if people still think that it's not still up to standard, but maybe you need to work on something, because as an artist, especially as a modeler, like a visual artist, we are here to actually please the crowd with our work. They need to be able to enjoy what we are making. You know, like everyone can press Shift A on Blender and come up with like some boxes, but well, to make that boxes looks good, well, that's where you come in. All right. So yes, enough motivational jabba from me. That's not even a word. But yes, I'm gonna be waiting for Chris to work on something, and I will show you guys next when he finish with the polishing stuff. There's still a long way, guys. Like this, it needs to be like textured. It needs to be paint over. It needs to be like rethink, or I don't know, put some additional stuff on it. Only from one box. Can you imagine that? Be happy when you're doing things, you know, don't feel pressured. Because, well, if you already feel the pressure from the very first day, you will never be able to work this. Exactly. Just like yourself then. It's gonna be a rough beginning, but it's gonna be pretty sweet once it's done. This is far from done. So, come on, artists. I mean, like, you I saw a lot of you like really doing a lot of great things out there. Come in, you know, join, hang out, share. I mean, share your battle reports and everything, you know. So you can tell to everyone else like, yo, you don't make same mistakes like I do. Instead, do this, do that. Yes, well, we're nothing without people that actually coming to us and help us. We're a social being. We cannot do all things by ourselves. That's actually true. All right. I'm gonna be off for tonight. I know this is going to be like a really fast one, but since I'm literally really busy with my work, and I'm just like I don't want to feel bad. Yeah, I already told like I'm gonna stick to my schedule, so I'm trying to stick to my schedule as best as I can. Well, it's not per se like more than an hour, but maybe, like the next day can be better and better. So the next one is going to be Wednesday. Hopefully I have something to work on Wednesday, right? But if I don't, then probably that's going to be skipped, and maybe we just like gonna see each other in the next Monday. But again, thank you so much for watching later, rewatch this. I don't know, here in Twitch or maybe in YouTube. Thank you so much for all of your contribution and good words, especially for the follow. I'm just so happy when people like follow me. I'm nobody and yet people following. So yeah. All right. Cool. Have a good one, everyone. Okay. So please rest up, and if you're an artist, chill. Your time will come. Just keep pressing because, well, in the end, it's all yours, baby. All right. Woo! Salam. Peace.